Hello friends, today we will talk about metabolic syndrome. It affects 30 to 40% of Indian population and it causes many long-term complications like diabetes, heart attack and stroke. What measures we can take to prevent this, we are going to discuss in detail in this video. I am Dr. PrashantMore. I welcome you on my channel. Please subscribe it and don't forget to share it. Today we are going to talk about metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? So actually metabolic syndrome consists of central obesity, high blood pressure, then high blood sugar and lipid abnormalities. In these patients, triglyceride levels are raised and HDL cholesterol levels are low in the blood. You can see the patients of metabolic syndromes look like this, having central obesity. So what are the causes of metabolic syndrome? So it is caused by the insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance develops because of excess consumption of refined carbohydrates and processed foods. After eating processed food, the blood sugar levels spikes are seen, and for the response that pancreas secrete more insulin and this sugar get deposited into cells of the body in muscles, liver and the fat. But if there is a consistent sugar spikes are present, these cells become less responsive to insulin and over the period of the type 2 diabetes develops. So this insulin resistance causes metabolic syndrome. In India, we can see there is an increase of prevalence of metabolic syndrome day by day. Around 25 to 30% adult population is suffering from metabolic syndrome, and in urban areas, in cities, around 35% people are suffering from this disease. In women, it is present in 60% of the population. Now, what are the components of the metabolic syndrome? How we diagnose it? So, out of 5 factors, if 3 are present, then we label these patients as a metabolic syndrome. If waist circumference, in men it is more than 50 inches and in women if it is more than 35 inches. If blood pressure is more than 130 by 85 mm of Hg and fasting glucose more than 100 mm of Hg. Triglycerides less than 150 mm of Hg and HDL cholesterol if it is lower than 40 milligram per deciliter in men and less than 50 milligram per deciliter in women. Out of these 5 components, if 3 are present, then we can say that patient is having metabolic syndrome. Now, after diagnosis of the metabolic syndrome, let's see what are the risk factors for this. The first risk factor is obesity, central obesity mainly. That is apple-shaped obesity. This is excess deposition of fat around the waist. Second risk factor is sedentary lifestyle, lack of exercise. Most of the people have a desk job and they don't get or don't have enough time to get exercise or don't have enough motivation to do daily exercise. Such patients have higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome. Patient taking unhealthy diets, consuming unhealthy processed fatty foods, fried foods, these patients have higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome. Some genetic predisposition also found, but mostly it is a lifestyle disorder. It is because of sedentary lifestyle and unhealthy diet consumption patterns. So what happens if someone develops the metabolic syndrome? It increases your risk of heart disease, heart attack, at the same time type 2 diabetes and stroke risk also increases, paralysis. Long-term complications are also seen in patients with metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular diseases, stroke, heart attack, arterial damage. In type 2 diabetes, there may be vision loss, kidney dysfunction, kidney failure, fatty liver. It may lead to liver failure in the later stages, and in women, polycystic ovarian disease is found. So these complications develop over the period of time. But the good news is that these can be prevented because it takes around 5 to 10 years to develop the metabolic syndrome. And if you do yearly screening, you diagnose it early and take some measures to prevent this, it can be prevented. You can see prevalence of metabolic syndrome is more in urban area compared to the rural areas, because in rural areas patients do a lot of physical activity and at the same time they are consuming natural diet. In the urban areas, people mostly consuming the processed and unhealthy foods, so prevalence is more. But day by day, this line is becoming thinner because in rural areas also people are following unhealthy lifestyles. Now, how do we prevent it? The main part of this video is you have understood what is metabolic syndrome, what are the complications. Now, how should we prevent it? The first is physical activity. Daily exercise is must. At least 5 days a week, you should do exercise 150 minutes in a week. And if you are able to do exercise daily around 45 to 50 minutes, then it is always better. Aerobic exercises like swimming, walking, cycling. At the same time, flexibility exercises like yoga, strength training exercises, and you can do meditation also for stress relief. Your diet should be nutritious. It should also contain adequate amounts of fiber. At the same time, fruits, vegetables, good proteins, healthy fats, complex carbohydrate, and you should avoid refined carbohydrates and unhealthy fats. So you have to take balanced diet. We have uploaded a lot of videos on the channel regarding the diet. You can search this and watch it in detail. Now, if someone consuming tobacco, it should be avoided because it leads to a lot of complications in future. Early screening is important. Yearly screening is very important. Check your blood sugar levels, lipid level, at the same time your waist circumference. If you do yearly checkup, then it is very helpful to diagnose early metabolic syndrome and you can prevent it. It should be the national movement to prevent metabolic syndrome and the complications because of that, because medical science has reduced the incidence of the infectious diseases like cholera, typhoid, malaria, but the incidence of the non-infectious diseases, non-communicable diseases are increasing day by day because of the nutritional illiteracy. People may have become literate, but nutritional illiteracy is increasing day by day. It may be because of ignorance or not caring their health. It affects their life, their family, and at the last it also affects nation. So you have to take care of your health and avoid unhealthy lifestyle. Follow the healthy lifestyle, eat healthy foods, do daily exercise, take proper sleep, and follow the circadian rhythm. Thank you very much. If you have any query, you can ask in the comment box.